Hello, good afternoon once more. Trust we are having a blessed weekend. And today I just want to exhort us on something that I was studying, and the Lord was I was really grieved in my spirit. I know that God is grieved too, and it's about the story of Cornelius and Peter in Acts chapter 10. And we saw how God gave Peter a revelation of sending down some animals for him to kill and eat. Though he was hungry, he refused that he cannot eat this because it is unlawful, it is a common animal, and it is this and it is that. He gave so many excuses as to why he cannot kill and eat that thing. And so the Lord said, a lot of souls are perishing out there because we have set boundaries in our minds, in our hearts. We have set cultural boundaries, we have set ministerial boundaries, we have set boundaries in our lives that we cannot do this, even when God is the one telling us to do those things. God Himself brought down something for Peter to eat. But because of the laws we have in our communities, the laws we have in our churches, in our societies, the laws we have in our countries, we cannot engage in these things. And the laws we ourselves have set in ourselves, we cannot engage in these things. God Himself told you to do something and you said no, you cannot because they are unclean, and God had to rebuke him. Who told you they are unclean? I created them and I'm giving you the things, so why are you refusing to do that? And when God brought it to him, after he woke up, it dawned on him that this is what God is trying to say. And even when he went there, Peter still said in verse 28, he said, and then he said to them, you know how unlawful it is for a Jewish man to keep company with or go to one of another nation, but God has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Therefore I came without objection as soon as I was sent for. I asked, then for what reason have you sent for me? Peter plainly said it. The people had it in mind. But remember, Cornelius, the common man, still had a mind to go outside there because he had discovered something about God. You realize that those who have set boundaries and have kept a lot of barriers in their minds are those who claim to know God sincerely. It is not about how you tell people that you know God. It is about being obedient to what God is trying to say to you to do, what God is instructing you to engage in. Cornelius would have still stayed there trying to seek God's face when actually God has sent you and I to go and meet him so that salvation can come to him and to his household. How many of us are delaying the salvations of many just because we think that we cannot go to where they are, we cannot visit their environment, we cannot mingle with them because we don't want the crowd to see us mingling with them. God is so disappointed. He created and he called us and he chose us for this purpose, to meet with his people, but yet we have set boundaries and barriers for ourselves. And that's why a lot of souls are perishing out there. Meanwhile, they are people God have sent and assigned to such people. We need to break these barriers. We need to keep them out. We need to keep them out from our work with God, because it hinders God's work from being accomplished in our lives and in the lives of those we have been sent to. We are in a time that a lot is happening, and there is no time for distinction. There is no time for playing around. There's no time for exalting ourselves. We need to engage in the assignment and start doing it obediently according to God's word, not according to our barriers or laws. God is so disappointed in us, you and I, and we need to step up. We need to be true with God. We need to be obedient. We need to be open and ready to do that which He has called us in, if we must truly make heaven and fulfill God's purpose for our lives and see His glory being manifested here on earth. I know we can make that decision, and I pray God can strengthen us and give us an obedient heart to engage in His word. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you at the top.